Okay. So basically, we've talked about the core principles of branding, core branding principles, and we'll look at each of them a little bit deeper. So the idea of this particular segment is to break down branding rules, tear it down, and build it back up. So let's look at brand strategy, what it entails. Brand strategy covers the purpose, vision, values, positioning, target audience, and the personality of a brand. So when brand strategy is being developed, which should be the first thing after the understanding of what is being created have been gotten. Brand strategy is the next thing you go for. So you define the purpose of the brand, your vision is outlined, your values, what and what you stand for, positioning, target audience, and then your brand personality before you then begin the conversation of creating visual identity or developing the brand's tone, the brand's voice, choosing color, typography, creating logo, and every other visual expression that needs for a brand to be able to sell in today's world, in today's digital world. But before I explain identity, positioning, experience, and equity, let's look at my basic understanding of what branding is, because we're here to break down branding, tear it down, and then build it back up, because this is a class for rebels. So let's tear everything that we know down. Most persons see branding as perception development. Um, what people say about you when you're not in the room. It's true, but on a deeper level, I consider branding to be the reality you show people. Reality you show people in the sense that before a perception is being put in the face of people for people to see that this is who you are, this is what you do, this is how you do it, you must first of all develop those systems that will ensure that the perception you're putting out there is carried and it's not just a fluke. So that's why I call branding reality. Reality being expressed to the public so that they can buy from you, so that they can see what you do, so that they can interact with you, so that they can engage with your business or your personal brand, whichever one you are currently pushing out there. So that's why I see it as a game of reality. Any person that is playing the game of perception alone is not doing branding, because branding first starts with values, you understanding who you are as a person. This now, let's take it away from branding in the confines of business, take it away from branding in the confines of a personal brand that is doing sales and is on track to influence. Now let's take it to the core foundation of how it is being formed. Basically, in simple terms, every business contains or expresses the character of its owner. That means no matter the perception game you're trying to play as a business owner, the character of the key decision makers in every business is reflected on how that business behave, how they handle high pressure situation, how they handle sales, how they handle marketing, the quality of their delivery, and every other thing. Which a lot of times it can be good, sometimes it's bad. So basically, at the core of branding, at the core of the conversation of branding, your purpose as a person, your visions as a person, your values as a person is as important as the definition you give to every business venture you're getting into. Because the core and the sustainability of your business, the core attributes that will sustain and keep your business afloat, they all come from your values as a person, come from your core beliefs as a person. So if a business will succeed over time, if a business will cross the 10 years threshold, the 5 years threshold, you'll discover that it's as a result of the characteristics of those that are key decision makers. So if someone is a fixed-minded person, you'll discover that everything that he does as to perception building for his brand to marketing to sales would follow that fixed-minded approach. He will follow that fixed-minded approach. Their marketing materials, their sales materials, everything they're doing will carry that mindset. Why? Because that's the characteristics of the person that is making the decision for this brand. But if the person is someone that is flexible, spontaneous, and critical when he needs to be, you'll discover that the brand will also end up following the same, you will find the same character traits in the brand. Why? Because the person is the decision maker and he's a person that make everything work. So if you as a person, you're building a brand, be it business or personal, you've not found out your purpose, remember, purpose is not fixed. It's something that improves as we grow. It's something that expands as we advance. As our knowledge improves, as our knowledge improves, as our understanding improves, and as the amount of resources that is at our disposal improves, so what we're called to handle shifts per time. So if you don't have the basic understanding of your purpose, your visions, your core values as a person, then there is no need for you to build a business or a personal brand, because in the end, everything will fall apart, because the perception you're trying to put out there, it has not yet concretized in you as a person. So branding first is a leadership game before you think about anything visual. Find yourself as someone that wants to go into business, wants to go into public speaking, graphic design, real estate development, whichever aspect of business you want to go into. First of all, know who you are, know what you stand for, know your compromisable and your uncompromisable values. And then from there, you'll discover that your character, the values, the behavior of your business will slowly follow that set of values that you have outlined for yourself. And remember, your values, they shift per time based on the quality of knowledge, the quality of experience you have. So as your value shifts, ensure that you reflect it on your business. As your value increases, as your value improves, ensure it also reflects on your business. So now let's go over to brand identity. Brand identity is basically your visual and your verbal system. Brand identity, your visual and your verbal system, which contains every visual representation, both still, motion, video, everything, adverts, everything that has to do with your visual representation as a brand, be it business or personal. Then for brand positioning, this is where you look at your target audience, look at the behavioral pattern of those that would buy what you're trying to sell, be it a service or be it a product, and then you position yourself so that you can solve their problem. Because no matter how good an idea is, if it is not targeted at solving the problem of people, then it is a useless idea. Because what use is a product, what use is a service if it doesn't make the life of customers easier? You are not making it yourself. A genius idea is you can have a genius idea, but if it doesn't feed solution to people, what use is the idea? The beauty of an idea is in solving problems. So you understanding brand positioning is you looking at the markets, looking at your product, looking at your service, and seeing the market, the set of people that it can feed based on what you're creating. And now you going through this particular step of branding would help you understand how your brand is supposed to behave. Because number one, you're solving the problem of people. So your marketing, your communication, your colors, your strategy, everything should align to what would emotionally tap the mind of the set of persons that would let go of their money to get your product or to interact with your service or to utilize your technology, whichever. So you discover that if someone is fixed-minded, having unrealistic expectation without understanding the fact that no matter how good my idea is, no matter how good my product is, no matter how good my technology is, if it's not solving the problem of people, then I'm doing nonsense. It will end with me. I'll end up wasting money and would have no results. So the next is your brand experience. So this is where you begin to get feedback from people based on their interaction with your brand. So this is something that at the beginning of any brand development journey or any brand improvement journey, you wouldn't know at the beginning. It's something that through the process, after things have gone out, then you now begin to see how people interact, customer reviews, you begin to see customer complaints, see how to make things more usable for people. This is where user experience comes in. Those that are into the UI UX, this is where user experience comes in. It's at the interaction. Once users begin to interact with a product, a digital product that you understand completely or to a large extent what is actually obtainable for them based on the market that you're solving their problem. Then brand equity is the perceived value over time through consistency and trust. So after people have experienced you over time, you then begin to build a space in their mind. So these are the core areas of branding. And it is not something that is done at once. It is something that it's progressive. It's something that is progressive. If you get branding right at the first try, then you are starting things late.